Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we will be going over 3 coins which I think there is an opportunity for trade and those could actually do well, and they are a whales driven token. So I will be going over XYO Network, Cryptex or CTX, and the Powerledger's Power coin. So if you are interested only in a single coin, you can actually just move to that coin using the timestamps below. So let's get started and see what do they have in their bags as of now. So looking at the CTX or Cryptex Finance, this one could be one of the biggest one to hold in this bull run because it does actually usually pump like crazy. So it has actually done that in the past. If we just look here, and this is actually from my previous video. If you have not watched that, you can also check that out as well. So as you can see, it did actually had a pretty good movement today as well, as you can see. So I actually checked everything from their Twitter to their governance and everything. There was nothing. Even on their blogs there was nothing going on. I checked everything and there was no news or anything, but it ended up pumping. So even if we just look at their I think Dune analytics, there is nothing going on which could actually give us apparent reason for its pumps, but there is nothing if you just look here. So I think one of the biggest reason we have, this is their TVL, there is nothing going on and it's pumping. So I don't think that we have actually any reason for that because it is actually on the brink of the breakout, as you can see. So if we just look at the daily chart, if you look here, just a second, let me make it correct. So it is actually trying to break out from this downtrend which it has been actually in for a long time. So as you can see, I think that is the most likely reason why we are up today. And if you just look here, it did retest around this demand zone, which was a pretty big one because it did actually pump recently from here. So the reason why I think this is very interesting is because this is a futures market which is on non-custodial wallets. As you can see here, we have Ethereum and even BTC and other coins which actually users can trade. And even if you look at the volume, it's pretty good. Around we have for the BTC around 2 million, and for the ETH it's around 1.5. So I think these kind of platforms really do well when it comes to the extremely bear market or even in the bull market, because many people actually use these kind of platforms rather than exchanges. Because sometimes what happens on the exchange is that whenever we have a bear market, exchanges usually miss target or even they liquidate some users, because I think it varies from amount to amount as well. So I think these platforms are a little bit more reliable since they are actually decentralized, which is pretty good. And beside that, we also have their LPR market cap, which is a little bit different product from others, which is very interesting if you look at it. So I think that could be one of the reasons why this coin does actually very well. And we also have LP, just a second, where did I go? So this is their actually trade TCP, which I think is the total crypto market, as you can see, which is a very interesting as well. So I think it has been doing, and even if you find this product, I don't think you will be able to find this this exact kind of product anywhere else. So I think that is the reason why it has been doing extremely well. So this is actually the total crypto market cap. So they actually trade that in a long or short term. So I think that is one of the reasons why this coin does well. So in terms of recent price action, if you just look here, I think the reason why the coin is actually up today now is most likely because it hit this demand zone. I'm sorry. So this demand zone was a pretty strong one. If you just look here, it actually did pump last time from here. So I think the history just repeated itself and it went up, as you can see. So as of now, I think if we don't see a volume, as you can see, the volume is pretty high when it comes to the sellers. So I think we are coming back, and will most likely come back around, I think, 4.2 to 4.1. And I think we actually need to retest again. I think we need to actually retest this demand zone. So if we do end up retesting this demand zone, which is around I think 4 to 3.93, we could actually end up pumping again. So I'm looking at this level, which is pretty interesting one. Beside that, just a second, I will just do that in the white one. So beside that, I think for the long term, the problem with this coin is that it has still 4 million tokens to be unlocked, so which I think may be a problem. But overall, I think this coin could actually end up hitting its so if you just look here, its peak market cap was around 65 million. So if it, as of now, it has actually been going up, but if you look at its price, it's not going up that much, because I think that is most likely due to its supply increasing slowly. But I think once we do see the rest of the supply in the market, it will most likely go up, because if you just look here, the coin actually has experienced a pretty good demand. If you just look here, it was around 11 million on the Feb 2024, and it's trading around 31 million. So uh, if I were to enter this coin, I would actually wait for this coin to go again to 14 million. So that means around half of its price, because as of now it has actually pumped really much. So even if it does go up from here, I think we will need to actually see a breakout from this point, because if we don't break this high just here, so this is a new zone which I'm looking at. So if we do end up breaking out from here, I think we could actually hit new highs or even $10. But if it continues to reject this trend line or this downtrend, I think we'll actually most likely come back at these levels around 3.67 or even 2.5 or even $2 or 1.95. So I think we actually need to see a breakout from this yellow line, which as you can see. So as of now, I think it has actually rejected around here. So what we need to do, we need to come here around and again pump. So I think it will most likely try to break out from here. So once it does, I think we are heading towards $7 or even $10, because if you look at this daily downtrend line, which I do in the last video, it broke this downtrend and retested that exactly, and it is actually trying to go up again. So I think we need to again break this downtrend and go up, and I think it could actually end up hitting $10 or who knows, even $12 or even more than that. So this coin does look pretty interesting, but as of now there is no news or anything on their Twitter which could be the reason for this pump, because I did check everything and there was no reason behind that. So let's just see what happens and how actually it performs in the future. So let me know your thoughts on CTX in the comments below. So looking at XYO Network or XYO Coin, this coin is really interesting, because most of its supply or all of its supply is in the circulation, which is pretty awesome, and it has been around since 2018. So it could this coin actually has pumped really hard in the past, so I think this could actually end up pumping again, as you can see here. So if you just look here, we are actually, just a second, it has actually hit the market cap of over 800 million in the past, so it could actually end up hitting that same market cap again. So let's just see what is going on with this coin. So the biggest announcement they actually made, one of the biggest one, was that they announced membership with the Singapore based Digital Asset Association. So they joined them, and another was that they actually revealed their roadmap for 2024, which was pretty big. So if you just go to their roadmap, they actually have a card game coming up. They also have XYO OS, we'll go over that in a second. So they have actually a mini game as well, which, and they also have shareable personal info card. Beside that, they also have planned crypto cards, and they also have XYO word, I think that is geo special or I'm not really sure how to pronounce this word, but anyways, so that is basically a game. So I think it will be where players can own a slice of the XYO map through the geo token NFT. So basically I think it's going to be like a sandbox or something like that. So beside that, they will also have bigger things coming up. So let's move to the biggest thing, which is actually XYO operating system, which they just released, and this is the operating system, or whatever you like to say, because they are calling it OS, which means operating system. So if you just look here, they also have name services or name service, which is basically I think XYO name service. So if you just go to randomizer, if you just here, I actually would like to get, they just say a domain, so I can actually buy a domain from here. If I do click here, I can just a second, let's just try to open this and see what actually does come up here. So I think they actually use okay, so they use pay with crypto or pay with credit card, so they do use that. And these are the domains with in the end we have XYO. So that is I think one of the utility, that is one of the service, or that is one of the product of the XYO OS. Beside that, we'll just have to open it again because I don't see. Okay, so we do have a close option here. So after that we have their network. Let's just see what they have here. It does not load up. So this is actually their network I think, and it does not load up. Let's just go to, this is the profile. I actually don't have any profile, I just loaded it up as of now, so I can actually make my own profile here, which is pretty interesting. So beside that, we do have a pretty big thing coming up. They have a chat option coming up. They also have something called coin. They also have crypto card games, which we just discussed. They also have daily payload, dataism, we have for inventory, we have legacy, security, statistics, and we also have Webble and XYO World Game. So basically this interface I think is going to be their one for all interface, where they actually will actually I think announce various apps or launch various dApps which can be accessed through this interface, what they are calling XYO OS. So that is pretty interesting, and I think this is just a first step for their growth for their ecosystem, and I think this is going to be very interesting in the future. So I think once they do launch the XYO World or even other games, I think the XYO token could actually end up pumping, which I think could be pretty interesting to see. So this is this setup is actually from my previous video, so if you have not watched that, you can also check that out. So if you look here, I did do this demand zone in the past, and as you can see, it has been doing pretty well in this demand zone, and I think we may even have a pump loading in from here, because it did actually pump from here exactly. So I think we may actually see a big pump from here, but to do that, I think we need to break 86 we actually need to break this 86 level. If you look here, this is actually a resistance which actually was support at some point in the past. So, and as you can see here, it is this resistance is pretty strong, because it did try to pump from here, but it got rejected here. So I think we actually need to break out from here, and after that we could actually end up hitting 95 or even 12 or even more than that. So this coin is a pretty interesting one. It does have a lot of supply, around 13 billion, but still its market cap is fairly low. It's mid to low cap, so I think it could actually end up pumping, or it could actually at least become at 270 million market cap, which means the price could actually end up pumping from here around 150%, which is a pretty or fairly good pump. If it does pump, I think we could actually end up hitting, just a second, let me, okay, so if it does pump 150%, I think we could actually end up hitting $0.022, which is a pretty interesting level, and that is a big resistance it has. So if it does go up, I think we are actually going here in the future, if once they do actually grow their ecosystem, and they do have a pretty good roadmap, and I think they will be able to achieve that. So this one is pretty interesting coin. So let's just see what happens, and do share your thoughts in the comment section below for the XYO network or XYO coin. So the last coin of this video is actually Powerledger's POWR coin. So POWR, I have actually covered this coin so much in the past. You can also check those videos out if you're interested. So I won't be going deep into what is POWR or something like that. Basically, POWR is actually trade every kilowatt hour of energy. So this is basically energy related cryptocurrency. So energy does have a pretty good demand in the crypto market as of now. If you look at the energy tokens, we have energy wave, which is the biggest one with a market cap of over 170 million, and after that we have Powerledger with a market cap of 160 million. So this category is actually slowly growing, and if you look here, it's actually not doing that amazing, but still it's somewhat upcoming category. If you look at the actual blockchain use cases, the power management does actually come under that, because the blockchain I think does manage the power better, and I think we also do need that. But if we just look at the power itself in terms of their partnerships, they actually did a big partnerships in April. So they actually announced a partnership with Mytelinios, which I think is the Greece's one of the largest companies to introduce first of its kind clean energy PPA tracking and smart energy source solution in the Greece. So they actually partnered with Powerledger, which was pretty big for them. Besides that, they do have a pretty good, I think, backers or the partners. They actually are touched by the Tata Power. They also have I think BSE, Elia Group, USAID. They also have I think BHP, and if you look at their clients, they do have over 30 plus clients in 10 countries. We have some in Belgium, Vietnam, we also have in India, we also have in Austria, France, Spain, Australia, Thailand, as well as India. Again, we also have Japan, United States, Malaysia, and we also have again India. They also partnered with government as well. We also have Thailand, again Australia. So they are actually well versed when it comes to the power, and they are actually making the partnerships to trace and track the power, which is pretty interesting. And if we won't be going deep into their tokens or anything like that, let's just go straight into their token. So from my perspective, their token is I think one of the most influenced token by the whales, because if you look here, in just a matter of one day, the coin actually pumped from, in just one day it pumped over 300%, and right after second day it came back again. So if you just look here, in the span of 4 days, it went from I think 29 cents to as high as $1.3, and just as after the on the fifth day it actually fell down the same percentage. So I think this was a whale play, and I think the whale play could actually happen again. So there is an opportunity for a trade. So I think the best way to trade this token is actually get it to low as you can. So if we just look here, I think we do have a pretty good demand zone for this coin. So the first demand zone I think, which was, and I think many people actually took the opportunity for that, was around 30 to 29. If you just look here, this was the first trade, I think demand zone around 30 cent to just a second, so this is around 28 cent to 26 cent, which was pretty interesting, and I think that is still valid. So if it does come here, I think there is a pretty good opportunity for it to pump again. So I think the best way to trade this coin is to just buy it in DCA on these demand zones and wait for it to actually do this magic pump like it did in the past. So I think we may even see other pumps, because if we just look at its history, this one was the biggest one. But if you just look here, this wick is the same one as well, like this one. This wick is again the same one. So it has actually a pretty good history of the big pumps in the past. So I think if we are able to get entries below these points, of course the last one I think is pretty good around, and I think which will be most likely the pump zone for this coin is around here, around 13 to 12 cents. So that is the last one which I'm looking at. So if we are able to get these entries, and I think, and if we wait for it to go up and we just place our order, let's just say that at a 50 cent, and I think it could actually end up hitting the wick in 1 day or 2, and that could be an easy profit. So in that sense, this coin does have a potential if you look at it. So I think this is a very interesting coin because in the past it does have these it does have a histories of the big pumps, and right after that it goes down. So I don't think that we can hope for this coin to actually maintain the market cap that it does pump, but it can be interesting for a quick profits if you are into that. So I think this is a pretty interesting coin. So, and it could actually end up hitting 500 million or even 200 or 300 million, which is easily 2x from here, which will be around 60 cents. So that is for this coin. So I think this does have that kind of potential for the pump, and it does go down again. So I think it's a pump and dump coin. If you're into those coin, I think this could be very interesting coin. So this was it. I hope you liked the video. Please do share your thoughts in the comment section below. I will be back with more. Thanks for watching.